Greetings, salutations, and good now. I'm Astrologer Kevis Major, doing it major, and welcome to our weekly forecast for January 20th up until January 27th. Now, this week is going to be a very energetic week. It's going to have or host dynamic blends of energies. We have air, water, and earth energies all guiding us through different shifts when it comes to communication, emotional flow, and grounded decision making. Now, this week we're going to have significant aspects with planets such as Mercury, Venus, and some of the outer planets like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And so this week is definitely going to be energetic, dynamic, and transformative as we're going to conclude with the third quarter moon that prepares us for the new moon that we're going to be having on the 28th of February. Let's get into some planetary highlights for this week, and then we're going to get into some aspects. So the major planetary highlight for this week is Sun in Aquarius. The Sun is currently, 1 degree into Aquarius, sync its time, and so the Sun in Aquarius fosters innovation, community-oriented goals, and just the appreciation for unconventional ideas. This is a time for us to break free from routines and just embrace progressive thinking and progressive ideas and actions. We're going to do a deep dive on Sun in Aquarius in another video, so make sure you are looking out for that. The moon is currently in Libra. At the time we're recording this video, it's slowly going to be entering the Scorpio sign. But this Libra moon encourages diplomacy and balance, emotional harmony, so we could achieve things through fairness and open communication. We have Mercury in Capricorn, which helps us to communicate in a more practical way, helps us to be more disciplined when it comes to how we think and our mental faculties. Sometimes we could drift off into la la land. We have a lot of influences from the Pisces space, which makes us more dreamy, elusive. We are more idealistic, and so Capricorn helps us to ground our communication and use strategies and just organize the way how we present. We have Venus in Pisces, which inspires compassion, communication, and deep emotional connections to people, places, things, circumstances, and situations. Venus is that sign I like to associate it with our feelings for pleasure, our cravings, our desires. And so when we have this Pisces energy, it makes us really, really creative because we could channel a lot of inspiration and aspiration at this point in time. We have Mars Retrograde in Cancer. This has been going on for some time, and so this placement encourages us to revisit emotional motivations and just address past conflicts relating our family, the home, and even domestic situations. We know that Cancer is the mother sign that deals with nurturing that motherly like energy. And so if there's anything when it comes to our goals or passions that we need to slow down and take care of and revisit, or even situations surrounding the heart space, things, people, places, situations that make us comfortable, this retrograde Mars in Cancer encourages us to reflect, revisit, and address those issues so we could move forward. We have Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. This placement has been there for some time, and again, intellectual expansion kind of slows down, allowing us for reflection when it comes to situations that deal with the things that we have learned, our ideas and ideals, our philosophies, and just the things that we believe and the things that we work off of to move us forward. If you understand what I mean, because your beliefs constitute your actions or your foundations for you to propel forward. And so this Jupiter retrograde helps us to reflect and reassess our ideas and even our communication style, just because of the Gemini influence. We have Saturn in Pisces. Saturn influences discipline, and maturity in some way, shape, or form when it comes to our spiritual and creative pursuits. Now, when it comes to, just our creativity, it is boundless, it's endless. And so Saturn and its parameters kind of helps to, gives us a framework for us to work within. And so there are lessons that we're going to be learning about boundaries and emotional maturity during this week or during this time. We have Uranus retrograde in Saturn, has been here for some time. The outer planets are not going to be that potent this week. However, the Pisces signs need to look out, because there are a lot of signs in Pisces. So, Pisces needs to look out. I might do another video specifically addressing that as well. We have Neptune in Pisces, heightens our intuition, our imagination, and just our spiritual awareness. We may be more dreamy at this time, daydreaming or having more dreams and stuff like this. And so, things could be a bit cloudy, even though we might be having vivid dreams, some of us. Pluto is in Aquarius, continues to add to our transformative journey. Social challenges may arise because, Aquarius deals with the collective. And so there are going to be certain challenges when it comes to social structures, and there's going to be a need or a call or encouragement for collective evolution. We have nodes in Pisces, retrograding in Pisces, which reflects on karmic shifts. And so back to that more dreamy, elusive state where, we're going towards our spiritual calling or our spiritual destination through the water realms, where we have to be more intuitive and look within as a guide. We have Chiron in Aries. This position highlights the themes of self-healing, especially when it comes to reclaiming your personal power. So again, we have some aspects that are really going to challenge us and aid us this week, and we're going to quickly run through the challenges and then get through a bit of day-to-day run-ins. Now, the major aspects that we need to look out for is Sun conjuncting Pluto. This is going to be huge for all of the Aquariuses. I remember when Pluto just shifted into Aquarius, the first thing that happened to me is that I cracked one of my tooth. And so that just highlights how, in my mind, in my realm of reality, how Pluto could just bring or highlight instances or aspects or areas of your life where there are weaknesses, and that you need to really examine, bolster up, maybe tear down, break down some stuff, rebirth, recreation, remodeling to move forward with more strength and vigor. And so transformations when it comes to, heavy transformations depending on what house this placement is in. We also have Sun opposing Mars. Mars is retrograde in Cancer, and so this kind of energizes conflict resolutions and being able to be actionary. Aquarius is a very actionary, progressive sign, and so during this season we may be trying to solve a lot of problems using forward thinking or progressive ideas. We have a trine with Uranus, which sparks innovation, change, and unconventional thinking. So again, this Aquarius season, this week specifically, is a time for us to really dig in and propel ourselves forward. We're going to skip the moon aspects because the moon is going to be changing signs every 2.5 days. And so let's go ahead to Mercury. Mercury is sextile in Venus, which is going to make us smoother when it comes to communications and relationships, depending on if you're on the right side of the energy or the wrong side of the energy. Mercury is in Capricorn, that grounds our communication and just helps us to organize our thought patterns and our thought processes. And so as it sextiles Venus when it comes to our pleasures and cravings and intimacy and just even being creative, that Venus sextile aids in that aspect. Mercury is opposing Mars, however, so there is going to have some tensions when it comes to, intellectualizing or maybe debating or just your judgment or how you think opposing, your actions and how you're acting at in some way, shape, or form. There's a sextile between Mercury and Saturn, which encourages us to be strategic with our planning, and a trine with Uranus, which promotes innovative ideas. So again, innovation, pushing forward, resolving conflict. A lot of that could be done this time, or just handling, details of your goals, of your business, of the job. Things might be happening and progressing, and so a lot of placements and aspects are here to help us propel forward. Mars, well, let's go back to Venus, backtrack a little bit. Venus trines Mars, harmonious passions and emotional expressions. Again, Mars is a bit slowed down in Cancer retrograde, and so Mars doesn't necessarily like to be here, but this is just a time for us to nurture our goals and our ambitions. And then when it comes to the Venus aspect, it doesn't make us as aggressive. We could be a bit more harmonious with our pursuits and our expression. Venus, however, is squaring Pluto. We need to look out for overindulging. Venus again deals with our feelings, our cravings, and Jupiter deals with expansion, and so we may have an expanded palette at this point. Venus also conjunct Saturn, which brings a bit of stability when it comes to, again, our cravings, our pleasures, and even relationships. Let's talk about Mars chilling out in Cancer retrograde. There's a sextile between Uranus, which encourages constructive actions, and again, Mars is a bit slow here, so we're not impulsive and rushing to the punch, and so constructive actions and being more adaptable. Some of us are more fixed in our ways, but this Mars with Uranus brings in change and innovation, and so we could be a bit more flexible and adaptable. Mars is also training Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces, and so this aligns energies of creativity and intuition, which again is helping us propel forward as we go towards the third quarter moon. Jupiter in Gemini retrograde squares Saturn, so this is going to test our faith versus practicality. Jupiter deals with expansion, and to expand we have to go through the fire, we have to go through tests and trials, and that tests our faith and our belief. And Saturn is going to definitely bring limitations and boundaries because it's a square aspect, a difficult aspect, and so keep the faith and keep pushing forward. Let's go down to the day-to-day, touch on some key aspects that are going to be happening. So on the 20th, we're experiencing currently a major Air Trine with Moon in Libra. It's slowly going to be squaring and then moving into Scorpio, but the effects and influences of this trine is prominent right now. So Moon in Libra, Sun in Aquarius, and Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. Again, this is a balance aspect, and so diplomacy and communication flow smoothly. Opportunities for balance and fairness can arise, and this is also a good aspect for conflict resolution. And again, there's just this theme of pushing things forward despite the odds. On the 21st to the 23rd, we're going to be experiencing a major Water Trine, which emphasizes or highlights themes of emotional depth and intuition. Our intuition is going to be heightened at this point in time, so trust it, trust that inner voice. Hopefully you're mature enough to decipher the inner child from the inner adult or the inner teen. However, this trine, as the moon moves through Scorpio, is going to encourage harmony, because Mars retrograde Cancer, Saturn is a whole stellium in Pisces, and so opening up emotional healing, opening up compassion, and just opening up the way for a lot of practical creativity at this point in time. January 24th, Pisces Stellium is going to be, I think, at its peak. Again, there's Venus, Saturn, and Neptune all conjuncting in the Pisces sign, and this is also trining Cancer again. So a lot of transformations. There could even be deep conversations had at this point in time, where secrets could be revealed because of all of these emotions. And we know that below the surface there's depth and layers, and as we dig deep through the depth and layers, things that are on the bottom could resurface. So look out for bombs to be dropped or secrets to be revealed at this point in time. On the 25th, Mercury conjuncts Pluto in Aquarius. Mercury is going to be sliding into Aquarius, and this again reflects just progression as we prepare for the new moon. It's a day of transformational insights and deep conversations, again, because Mercury, thinking, communication, being analytical, Pluto, doom, gloom, and destruction. So that kind of ties in with the water trine that we're going to be experiencing. Let's skip a bit forward. The 26th, we start preparing for the third quarter moon. The moon is going to slide into Sagittarius, so we're going to be reflecting on all the progress we've been making, and again preparing for the new moon, a time of releasing and recalibration, which is going to be on the 29th of January. New moon in Aquarius is going to be a major event because there's going to be a stellium in Aquarius with Sun, Pluto, Moon, Mercury all conjuncting in Aquarius, making it, a fresh start for innovation and change, especially when it comes to the collective. We're going to do more deep dives on Aquarius in more videos to come. So this week, this week invites us to harmonize the water with the air. We have a bit of earth, and so this is a good mixture for intellectual growth, transformational shifts, while taking actions, innovative actions to propel us forward. Major farewell until we meet or greet again. I'm Astrology Kevis Major, doing it major.